Karis Vector steps out for the first time on the weekend. You've done a lot of work with this horse. What's he like?
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. He's been trialing really nicely. He's still a young horse and he's still learning about everything. But he's done everything right. So we're looking forward for his first run.
How ready do you feel he is for this first run?
He's ready enough to go to races and be competitive. But I still think, of course, racing will bring him on. So yeah, I think he's gonna go out and be competitive for sure.
Does he feel like a nice horse?
Yeah, he does. He gives you a nice feel when you ride him. Like I said, I don't think he's at his best yet. I still think racing will bring him on, but I'm very happy with him.
Rhapsody lines up in the same race. You won on him last time out. What are your thoughts on him as a horse, Karis?
Well, yeah, it was a very impressive win with him last time. I thought even Mr. Size said the horse has improved a lot the way he won, and I think of course he's gonna be a main competitor. But of course I'm happy with my horse that I'm riding.
Were you already booked for Vector?
Yeah, I was. So this is why it was not easy to ride the other horse.
Douglas, super wealthy. We haven't seen him at the races since the end of September. How is he?
He seems to be in very good form. He had two unfortunate upside-down runs to the beginning of the season, and his first run he just got into a speed battle, and his next run he was a bit unlucky in the straight. He got held up, so I gave him a bit of time off, and he's been brought back with this race in mind, and he seems in good enough form.
He's had a few barrier issues, both at the trials and also in his last start. In that time off, have you done anything to try to rectify those?
Yeah, he's had some barrier practice, and in his last trial, the work that we've done with him indicated that it's helped. So I'm hoping he goes there in a good frame of mind.
What did you think of that trial?
I thought it was pleasing. His main objective was to get cover, get him to switch off, and attack the line, which he did.
Looking at the field for the race he lines up in on Saturday, what are your confidence levels like with him?
Oh, look, it's a competitive race, and the good thing is he's got a nice light galloping weight, so he gets his chance.
He's got the hood on for the first time. Just explain the sort of thought process there.
Well, he's quite aware of a lot of things, and one of the things that upset him in the gates was other horses getting fractious, and he takes that into consideration. And with a hood on, it just allows him to shut down and not be distracted so much.
Zach, Joyful Fortune, he returns to the races on Saturday. You rode him in his one and only trial. What was he like that morning for you?
Yeah, it was a fairly straightforward trial. He's a straightforward horse, isn't he? He began well, he travelled along nicely. I didn't put him under any pressure, and he handled it well. So, it was a low-key trial, and obviously he's going to bounce himself out here into a high-pressure race. So let's just hope that he's come on from that.
He was a winner at the back end of last season, an impressive winner at that too. You must be happy to be jumping aboard a horse of his potential.
Yeah, of course. He's an exciting horse. He showed that last season, but it was only one start. We've seen time and time again horses have come out and looked very good at their first start and haven't been able to reproduce it under more pressure. So we're going to need to see him do it again. He's found a suitable race. Obviously, Joe's horse down the bottom is drawn nice on the outside fence, and he looks the main danger. So I'm not far away from him. We're going to be in similar spots, and it's probably going to be a race in two.
The other news concerning you through the week came through on social media last night that you'll be riding Inferno in the Hong Kong Sprint. Just tell us how the ride came about, and also what are your thoughts on riding him on International Day?
Well, he's obviously got a good record in Singapore. He was impressive last start, and I reached out to Cliff to see if he'd be interested in coming, and he's of the same opinion as me. We're not sure if he's going to measure up to the horses here in Hong Kong, but he can't do any more than what he's been doing in Singapore, and he struck a fairly weak year, obviously, apart from a couple of horses. The rest of them look like they probably need to take a step, so it's a year where you can probably take a chance, and I'm taking a chance by taking the ride on him, and let's hope he can come here and do well for Singapore and roll the big boys in Hong Kong.
Douglas thinking big. He spent the last few months at Chung Fa. He got back in the last few days. How does he look to your eye for his first up run?
Terrific. He's certainly blossomed, having been in Chung Fa, like a lot of horses do over this period of time, and he's come back in good health.
He had a suspensory injury, I believe. Just what's been the recovery process like with him?
Oh, look, thank goodness for Chung Fa. They've got the spa machines and the water treadmills, and so he's got a lot of treatment, and I think it's benefited him tremendously.
He's had a couple of trials there. He won his most recent trial there by a big margin. How much of a guide is that for you going into his first up run?
Well, most trials are very misleading, and I suppose there's no money in the mornings. But you can't ask for more than the way that he presented himself and the effort he gave on that particular trial. So you've got to be pleased with that.
He's drawn the widest gate. What are your expectations for him first up on Saturday?
Well, look, they've really he's got a task on his hands, drawn that gate first up. He's got it all before him. He's got the class, but it's his first run for a long time, so I'm cautious.
Tempest Express, Karis, what did you think of his last run?
He's still actually a young horse. He's actually learning about how to race properly. I thought his last run he had to come the long way on the outside and make a long run through, but he never stopped. He kept on running through. I think the distance should help him. So after his last run, the way he felt, I would think he would improve a lot since then.
You've drawn a better gate this time around. In an ideal world, where would you have him on the run?
He is a type of horse that you should just leave him where he's comfortable. So I think the draw would play in his hand where he can be comfortable but in a decent enough position so he can not be too far behind and make up too much ground. So I think the draw will help him a lot, and let's hope he do well.
As you say, still a young horse, but has he got the raw ability?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, he's learning how to race properly. I would say all his run looks like a been decent run, and he's been improving all the time. So now putting that he's going over ground with the draw should be a positive sign.